Hey again, everyone. So, to the return. I didn't figure out how to do the stuff that Shed was, not Shed, words. Alex was doing. I don't think I have everything set up on my laptop to do that, so I already did my project, so I'm going to show you the results instead of the process. That way you guys didn't have to hear hand mixers and wait a super long time. Hopefully my video will be shorter. So what I did was, tomorrow we have a barbecue where we're going to rewatch the MLS Cup game, that Sporting one. If you guys don't know, Sporting last season won the MLS Cup, and it was a big deal, and we're rubbing it in everyone's faces. But it was a really tense game. It went all the way to shootouts and all this other stuff. So it was awesome. So we're going to have this barbecue and rewatch it. There is a drinking game involved. Pretty much I sit in the south stand, which is constantly confused with Cauldron. So you guys are mostly in St. Louis, so you don't really understand the difference. But the main or most well-known supporters group is the Cauldron. Pretty much the stadium didn't really anticipate that both ends of the stadium would become giant supporters groups like they are. But, so the South Stand is one of the big supporter groups, and we get called the Cauldron a lot. So the drinking game is you finish your drink whenever they mistake us for the Cauldron, which happens a lot. So this is going to be a really interesting day that we're going to have. Anyway, so for my project, I made cakes for the thing, and they're a little crumbly, but they're sporting themed. Hopefully they'll look really nice here. I'm actually going to move them out to our dining room table, which is a little bit of a mess, but whatever, I just finished baking. So, see, there they are. They have little sporting crests going on. You're kind of looking at them upside down, but they're roll cakes. So if you look at the sides, let me see if I can get down, like you can see all sorts of yummy frosting in the middle. So I made one vanilla and one chocolate, vanilla white cake, whatever. So I know people love chocolate, but then some people don't. So I have both on there, and I'm pretty excited. It's my first attempt at a roll cake with a design, and it didn't turn out too bad. They're kind of a little cracked and stuff, but maybe I should have taken them out a little bit earlier. Oh well. They're delicious. So I sampled some of the batter, of course. What else is happening in my life? I have a list, so I didn't forget things. Updating on my D&D games. So, for my brother's game, I ended up not going to play Borderlands instead, but we didn't play our campaign either, so I don't really feel too horrible about that. For the other game on Tuesday, sorry, sticky counter, we explored a little bit more. We did some Kingdom housekeeping stuff with a guy who actually enjoys doing that, who actually showed up. Yay, because I'm terrible at it. And Rob doesn't really enjoy it. So we did that, and anything interesting come of that. No, we didn't do any fights or anything. It was a really mellow, low-key night. Not everyone was there. So we pretty much did like a bunch of housekeeping stuff for the game that we hadn't been doing for a while. And we finished looting like this elven tower thing that we had finished off the week before. So we got some cool loot and stuff, and we're probably going to end up turning that tower into a castle at some point in time. What else? I told you about my cakes. Follow-up from last week, since I don't know if you guys looked at the comments. I've been kind of obsessively compulsively looking at comments for these videos ever since we started posting them. But Nancy asked me how Valentine's Day food went out, and it was terrible. Pretty much, I got the mixture and everything together for the egg rolls, and that turned out fine. That was a success. The mixture, the insides was fine. But when I went to get out my pre-made egg roll wraps, they were moldy, and I was like, that's gross, and we're not going to eat those. So I decided, I'll find a recipe and I'll make them myself. not too complicated, actually, to make the batter for it. The hard part is getting them to flatten out enough and to be big enough. So I had them being too thick and little tiny circles. So I kept trying to wrap up the insides, and then I was like jamming it with toothpicks, and I did fry up a couple teeny tiny ones and stuff, and they actually turned out pretty good. But after that hilarious adventure, I decided I was done trying to make things from scratch for that day. Luckily, Rob had eaten a late lunch, and I wasn't terribly hungry, so I pretty much just ate a couple of my mini, not really working egg rolls, and it was pretty hilarious. And then we played Borderlands all night, which Rob and I have gotten back into playing Borderlands, which is hilariously fun. And before we were all like, oh, we should all game on that together. We only have we have like a ganked version of Borderlands. So we only really can set it up for like a local client. So if you want to haul computers up to Kansas City, we'll play with you. But yeah, so that's really fun. I'm right now playing Commando, which is fun. When I initially played, I played as the Siren, and now I want to go through and play all the different characters. So that's fun. What else? I guess the last thing I really have to update everyone on is, I know I vaguely mentioned that Rob and I had started looking at houses literally when I told you he had just been like, hey, here are some cheap houses, what do you think about that? Like, that's how far along we were last week. So, this week, it's Friday for me filming this. Tomorrow, we're going to go out and look at, like, 4 houses and stuff. We're making sure it's in a Google Fiber area because our internet is crap here. It's not complete crap, but if we pay for any more internet than we have right now, we aren't going to get that internet. So, we're on, like, the lowest plan that you can get because that's all they'll actually give us. I think that is about it for this week. Yeah. Nothing else too crazy happening. Trying out recipes. I tried out a brownie recipe that didn't go over great. It was good. Like, I thought they were decent, but everyone else who tried them because I put oats in it instead of flour. And I skipped the part where it said to blend all the ingredients and just mix them by hand. Blending it is more important because everyone else, like, they would get, like, these oat bits, and they'd be like, that coconut? That doesn't taste like coconut. And it's the texture that they don't like. For me, it's more the flavor of coconut that I don't like. So I was kind of like, whatever, I know what it is. I know it's oats. I'm over it. But, so they were all not thrilled about the texture of these brownies. On top of which there was a little too much cocoa powder and a little too little sugar. So those ratios just weren't quite right yet. So I'll work on it. I'll get there eventually. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think that is it. I don't see my cats around here immediately. I don't think everyone has seen my cats, so I was going to show you, but I don't really want to go hunting them down, especially since Meowsalini does not like being held. She's getting better about it, but it's a fight. But I think that's it. If there's anything else you guys are curious about, send me a reply to this video or a message or something. I don't know. I'll cover it, and if there's any particular recipe you think I should try out or something, I will, since I've kind of gotten into this stuff. I'm mostly into the baking, because Rob likes cooking too, so it's more of a 50-50 shot if it's like a cooking, like an entree type stuff. But if it's something that's baking oriented, I will definitely try it, because Rob doesn't bake anything. Of course, we also don't really eat sweets. And my roll cakes are flattening. Look at this. Sorry, I keep looking over. Oh, I'm videotaping. Yay. put them in the refrigerator, they'll stop doing that. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna put those in the fridge and hope they stop squishing. At least the sporting symbol came out well. So, oh well. I hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. All right. See ya.